Have you tried water with this?
Well, I've had them.
Let's try a little bit, man.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cheryl Jennings, and I'm with ABC 7 TV in San Francisco, and I am here to join Performing Stars and Felicia Gaston and welcoming you to the EnLIGHTen event. We are so proud of all the young girls who are here today and our mentors who are joining us. So first of all, thank you to all of you for just showing up. That's half of life is showing up, right? So give yourselves a warm round of applause just for being here. I've been working with Felicia and Performing Stars in Marin City and my sister Patsy Fleisch, somewhere here in the room, thank you, for nearly 20 years. We are really pleased to be working with Felicia. She is now our sister for many, many years, and it's an honor and a privilege. We've worked with her on the Performing Stars of Marin, the EnLIGHTen Project, and also the Phoenix Project. So we want to welcome all of you again here today. Felicia and her team have brought together an extraordinary group of people from different backgrounds, nearly 100 teenage girls and mentors, to work together. These are outstanding career women from very different backgrounds. Now, the focus this year is something called STEAM. It used to be called STEM, right? We're expanding it. Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We're going to be honoring 3 women who grew up right here in Marin City and have achieved great success. They are now role models. They are local heroes. We're very proud of them, and we congratulate them. You're going to meet them in just a moment and hear their personal stories. We have a lot of supporters here today because we cannot do it without our supporters. So would love it if you would mind standing. Don't be shy so that we can thank you. We want to start with introducing the Performing Stars board members. Ms. Marin, Dr. Edwards, Andrea Norwood, who could not be here today, Charles Earl Dent. Please let us see you so we can acknowledge you. Also, the advisory board, Judge William Stevens, wearing a splendid tuxedo today. Looking very handsome, sir. I also learned that he's a dancer, ladies, so just in case. All right, Deborah Santana. Jose Varela, the head of Marin County Public Defender, and I'm also on the advisory board. So a few others that we'd like to acknowledge as well. Carol Mills, representing Senator Mike McGuire. Thank you for being here. You're going to see her again a little bit later on with the honorees. Also the Marin City Community Services District Board, a key community partner. Nancy Johnson, Royce McLemore, Diane and Larry Rosenberger. Just please stand up. Let us see you. I know I'm going fast. Thank you. So Diane and Larry Rosenberger represent the Buck Institute for Research on Aging, which, as you know, is located in Novato, and they had some great opportunities for young people for youth-related science camps. So we're looking forward to that. We want to get our program started right now, so please give a warm welcome to our visionary leader, the Executive Director of Performing Stars, and the founder of the EnLIGHTen event, Felicia Gaston.
Hello, everybody. Just before we get started, I'd like to bring up Florence Wims to do a special welcome and a song for you all. Thank you.
Wow, you look so beautiful. Look at your neighbor and say, you look so beautiful. I mean, tell the men too, they look beautiful. This room is just filled with flowers. It's just wonderful. We are just so happy to be here again this year. 4 years, we don't believe it, do we? Oh my goodness, so we just keep expanding, and we're blessed to be here. But when I look at you, I think of a song. You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You everything we hope for. You are everything we need. You are so beautiful to us. Such joy and happiness You bring such joy and happiness. You always bring, can't you see? You everything we hope for. You are everything we need. You are so beautiful to us. Welcome.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. This is just one of the brightest days in the year for me to see so many beautiful young ladies, so many professional women, people who take out the time to share with our young girls how important they are. All of us as women in this room have been your age when we were little girls. And one of the things that come to mind is that when I grew up in Georgia, as a little girl, when I was in middle school, that was a big transition because my parents moved from, my mother remarried. I moved from a small town in Georgia to big Los Angeles, and it was very frightening. And middle school, like I said, was very, very tough. And I was super shy. I didn't want to participate in anything, and even in high school, I didn't want to participate, but I always kept my close friends around. I kept my family around. I grew up with a very strong family background. My grandmother started the first female gospel group in Marietta, Georgia. My mother introduced me to the classical music and going through high school. And then I thought about it after high school that I missed out on a lot because I was afraid to do a lot. And that's why we don't want you girls to not be afraid. We want you to feel confident. We want you to feel strong. We have all of these women here who have taken out their time to share with you how important you are, and we really want you to dialogue with them at the table. A brief history about EnLIGHTen. It started out 4 years ago. It started out because I wanted to just thank all of the women who have been important in my life since I started Performing Stars. I couldn't have not done it without women who mentored me, women who gave me lots of guidance, women who provided a lot of financial resources. And I started putting a list together, and I had over 100 women. I'm like, look at all these women who have supported the mission of Performing Stars to help build pride, confidence, and self-esteem to young people. We are a 26-year-old organization. We start children at the age of 3, so we introduce them to professional training in the arts so they can take ballet, theater, music. We have evolved over the years where we are just providing enrichment, and we want you to try whatever you think. If you want to learn how to sail on the ocean, we connect you with that. If you want to learn how to surf, you can do it. We want to no limits at all. In our second year, we introduce a lot of workshops. And the third year, we call it EnLIGHTen boot camps, where it's just very intense workshops. And we have lots of workshops available for you after the event. What I'd like to say to all the women and the men here in the audience is that we are launching an EnLIGHTen Friends program. And what that's going to do is it doesn't mean that we show up on this one day, that we have lots of support that our girls need throughout the year. I'm proud of our young ladies because they all fill out a questionnaire. And in the questionnaire, we ask them, like, what are your career goals? What are your favorite subjects in school? What help do you need in school? Out of 100 applications, every last girl mentioned they needed help in science and math. So what is that saying? And that's why we gave this theme today. But for all the women here, if you have resources, connections, they're saying I need help in science and math. We need to give them that help. So each of you will be hearing from me, and of course, you know, I'm very good at follow-up, and I do have a reputation that's like persistent but polite, and that's my Georgia hospitality. But we really want to embrace these young girls. We just don't want them to come. Today is a good day, but we need to say, how else can I help you? Please exchange phone numbers. Remember when you were a little girl. Remember when you were a child that someone took an opportunity to guide you, and that is what our mission is. So I just want to thank you all for being here. And this is just another theme, EnLIGHTen. So thank you very much.
And of course, you have programs, so if you need to know anything more about our speakers and our honorees, there's lots of good information here. Sorry about the walker, I had back surgery, so it's a slow recovery, so I'll be rolling around here amongst you, taking pictures. And anybody's doing social media, @Performing Stars on Twitter, #EnLIGHTen. So I will see you on social media. Right now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a longtime friend of ours, Deborah Santana. She is a major supporter of Performing Stars, and she also founded her own charity called Do a Little. Well, Do a Little does a lot. And she does that locally and in Kenya through her Daraja Academy, and some of our girls here actually went with her, so I can't wait to hear about that. And what it does is help groom young female leaders, and that's what we're doing here today. And it's all about education. So please give a warm welcome to Deborah Santana.
Good afternoon. It's so wonderful to see all of you here and to support these young women, our future power, our future intellect, hopefully our future activists who will help our country and the world. I have the wonderful honor of introducing the women who are STEAM today, and they are going to tell us about their pathways to success. And they are all successful because they've followed their dreams and they've become career women. They are all very, very active today to tell you how you can follow your dreams and learn more about science and technology. So as I introduce them, would you please come up and take your place at the table. Elisa Carr is a civil engineer. Robertson is an engineer. Divya Sawari is a software engineer. Alexandra Torres is the coroner forensic technician for the Marin County Sheriff's Department. And we were going to have Ali Guarneros Luna. Did she arrive late? Well, we have her here in spirit. She's an aerospace engineer. So I have some questions that are going to engage our women today, but we want you to be thinking about questions you will have to ask them when we're finished with our part. So the first question is, after you turn on your mics, if each of you could just take a little bit, maybe in a couple of sentences, and tell us how and why you chose the job you chose.
So let me just make sure. I chose civil engineering because I'm interested in the field of the natural environment. I've always been interested in how things change in the world around us when it comes to construction, protecting the environment, and that sort of thing. So I chose civil engineering actually after taking a class in my freshman year of college. I couldn't find any other class to get into, and the only class I could get into was Introduction to Civil Engineering, and that's when I learned all about it and got inspired to pursue a career.
And can you just tell us a little bit about civil engineering? So is buildings and...
Yeah, so civil engineering is an extremely broad field, actually. It spans everything from buildings and structures to waterways to protecting even our oceans, our rivers, streams. There's environmental and water resources. There's transportation. Every stoplight that you come to, a civil engineer was involved in timing that stoplight. The roads you drive on, trains you take, almost everything you see in your environment, civil engineering has had something to do with. So it's a very broad field.
Thank you. And can you each of you pull the mics closer to your faces when you speak? Thank you.
So I'm Catherine, and I actually also have a degree in civil engineering. And the reason I chose it was because of the breadth. And the fact that sometimes it's hard when you have to, like, what do you want to do? Well, you don't have to choose right off the bat. You can have so many options going into the field, and then you can specialize later. When I went to university for civil engineering, you kind of assumed that you would do something roads or water related, but I ended up working for a railroad. And so that was really exciting. And just those opportunities are available if you get that type of degree.
So I'm a software engineer in Salesforce. I grew up in India, and I did not choose like software engineering as my first profession. My first profession of choice was chemical engineering. But as Alyssa said, like during a freshman year, she figured out that she would pursue civil engineering when she got in class. The same way, I was tinkering with something related to chemical engineering, and it was a software. And I was more interested in how the software was built rather than the process that we were actually trying to figure out. And that's when I decided that I want to become a software engineer. So along with my chemical engineering, I went ahead and I studied computers on my own and I got a chance to work with Microsoft, Amazon, and now I'm working at Cloudflare. And it's been an amazing journey, like learning about software. And I think each day I learn a little bit more and grow more as a software engineer.
So I got my degree in anthropology, which is the study of humans. And the reason I got into coroner work was because I wanted a way to give back to my community. And I know it sounds like a weird way to give back, but for me, it helps families find closure within the death of their loved ones. And it also helps get the bad guys, that are when we collect evidence to find who committed different crimes. And so that's why I got into it. It was kind of a backwards way to get into it. I had originally wanted to be a doctor. Midway through my career at UC Davis, I switched and decided, I didn't want to have somebody's name on my conscience, and I started looking into CSI work because, the shows are great and they're really fun to watch. And so I did my research, and of course it's nothing like that in real life. But I found an internship that took me on, trained me in the position I'm working now, and it was really a matter of luck that I fell into it, and I really love what I do. It's something different every day. I'm never bored, and yes, it does get hard, but it's a way to give back that I feel happy doing work every day and just try and help my community the best way I can.
Thank you so much. So now, all of you sound so accomplished and so directed. However, for the girls who are in middle school and even high school, is there anything you knew then that helped you get to where you are now? Or is there something these girls could be thinking about if they want to have a career in engineering? Anything now?
That's a great question. I think looking back, stumbling into the career of being a civil engineer was not exactly a likely scenario for me. I was, neither of my parents went to college, so it was is not necessarily a conclusion that I would go to college even. But I liked math, and actually I've even learned now that you don't even have to like math to be an engineer. We're starting a podcast. I'm actually not practicing as an engineer anymore. I'm working on connecting students like you to career pathways in engineering. And we started a podcast, and I've been surprised at the number of women who I've interviewed who said they didn't like math even in junior high or high school, and they became engineers. So I think the key to pursuing what you're interested in is really persistence. If you are interested in something and you put your mind to it, I really think that is the most important thing you can do. You really think about what it is you want and think of that goal, and kind of find people in your life to help support that goal.
I think it's important to take hard classes. You have to be challenged now. If you take kind of the easy way, you're not necessarily going to learn anything. And sometimes you have to challenge yourself, and it might not always be fun. There was definitely times at school when you're just like, oh my goodness, this is so hard, I don't understand. But asking for help is actually a key too. Learning how to ask questions and reach out when you don't have the knowledge yet. So just keep striving forward and taking the challenging classes, because one day you'll get it.
So my one piece of advice, like just adding on to what Alyssa and Catherine here said. Essentially, I'm a software engineer, so I'll talk in terms of like software. A difference between knowing something and not knowing something is a binary. It's 0 or 1. Either you know it or you don't know it. And you just have to, it's a switch. You just have to get from there to there. There is no gray areas. Like you look at us and you feel like, oh, you're so accomplished, you know so much maths. It's not that. It's just that we are more experienced. It's not like we were not born with it. No one here in the room can claim that, oh, I was born with this. I was born with this skill. The skills are like something that you learn along the way. And as I said like earlier, I'm still learning. Like I can't lay a claim that I've stopped learning. And the day that you stop learning is the day that you'll stop growing. And that is just my one piece of advice. That basically just persevere and just learn. Always decide that you have to learn. Like whatever it is, STEAM, like anything in STEAM, if you don't like arts, if you don't like maths, if you don't like science, it doesn't have to be one of those. But whatever you do, you just have to remember that if you stop learning is the day that you stop learning. So that's kind of.
I'm going to say try new things. Don't be afraid to try new things. If I was afraid, I would never have gotten into this field and never have pushed myself out to the limits where I was calling the different coroner departments to see if I could get a ride along, to see if I could see an autopsy. I pushed myself. I'm not a very social person, so it was really hard for me to break through that and step out of my comfort zone and really try. But this was something I was passionate about, so I broke out of that comfort zone, started calling people and asking any way I could get into this field, any way I can see any experience, and then if I didn't like it, start from the bottom. It doesn't matter. You can keep going. You can keep learning and discovering what you want to do. You don't have to know right away. You can learn as you go.
Thank you. So now, as women in the fields that you're in, and even though you're now taking podcasts, which I want you to give us all that information so we can listen to that, but have you had any discrimination as being a woman in your profession?
Oh my gosh. All the time. I think it's just part of, particularly in engineering, you're a minority as a woman. And you face those things all the time. I think even in school, going to the profession, you're, one in a room full of men. I mean, I can't tell you how many meetings I've been to where I'm the only woman in a room of like 15 men. And there's just things that go along with that. The way that you build a relationship with the people that you're working with is often in the few minutes in the beginning of your meeting when you're talking about football. I know nothing about football. You run into those things a lot. And I think my one piece of advice on that is just ignore it. It has no, I don't think anyone really wants to do you harm. It's just being a minority in certain situations, where you're outnumbered. It just ends up feeling that way sometimes. I really think the best advice that I have on that is, just keep going. Do what you want to do, and do it the best that you can, and forget about anybody that tries to tell you, otherwise. So yeah.
I would agree that when you're at university, things are slowly changing though. So that's the thing. We're paving the way for your generation that it won't be so outnumbered as a female in the field. When I talk to other coworkers, and she talks about when she went to university, she was one of 5. But now when I'm in a room, I'm one of maybe 25 to 50 out of 300. So it's slowly growing, and you guys get to make a decision to go into these industries. And so if you look at the picture of me, that's me in a construction hat, because I work out in the field, and construction is a lot of guys, but it's not only men anymore. Women are slowly starting to make that decision to go work out in the field, and that's great. If you want to do that, do it. And also an example, recently I had to go give a presentation, and I showed up, and it was to 25 men. But I was the expert. I was the one in front of the stage giving the presentation. And so that's just, you have to change it one step at a time and keep going. And slowly things will change, but it's baby steps.
So to answer Deborah's question that whether I have faced any discrimination, maybe I did. I just don't really pay attention to it. I'm okay with it. It's all right. It's your prerogative that, as a man, if you want to discriminate against me, that's your option, not mine. And I think I don't want to be, no one is getting any better by that conversation or confrontation that, you cannot do that, or you cannot achieve this, these kind of things. And at workplace, at school level, you'll probably not see it as much, or you'll not probably realize it as much, but as Alyssa just pointed out, that in a room where there are 15 men and you're the only woman and you have to raise your voice, and basically they'll tell you, you're a bossy person. I am, so what? I am a bossy person, yes, live with it. I'm not here to give a character, it's not a character test that we are in. We are in a room to solve a problem. We are in a room together to just get something done. And if everyone else in the room is more bothered by how I, what I am, I'm a woman, and that's more important to you, that's your problem, that's not mine. So I guess that's my one piece of advice. That whatever it is, it's their perspective. Don't let it become your perspective.
So working in law enforcement, it is predominantly men, unfortunately. But luckily in the coroner world, there is a lot of women, which is awesome. But while we do our autopsies, which is one of the big parts of my jobs, is I help during autopsies, it's usually men that come from the police departments, detectives, and they always tend to underestimate me. And because I'm short and, the little one running around, trying to set everything up, and I usually end up proving them wrong when I'm there with my saw and cutting open the head and, drawing blood, and that's my job. And usually by the end of the autopsy, they're not calling me sweetheart and, the little thing anymore. It's, wow, that was crazy. So for me, it's more about being quiet and showing them my own strength through my work and proving them wrong and showing them how strong I am just by doing my work and doing my job well. So.
These are wonderful answers to these questions. So now I want to open it up to all of you, and I would really encourage the young women, please come up here and ask your questions so everyone can hear it. And actually, we can start a line if people want to ask questions. So I'm opening it up to the floor now. Please ask away. Yes, come.
What's your favorite part of your job that what's your favorite part of your job?
As a civil engineer, my favorite part of the job was seeing how whatever I was doing was either helping people or impacting people in some way. So that could be, interacting with the public about the work, showing them or demonstrating to them what we're doing, or just visiting a job site and seeing the results of, months or years of work sometimes. I was part of a team that developed, that built a new highway in the Washington DC area. And also part of a team that's building a whole new waterfront area in Washington DC. It's just really fun to see those projects come alive. And then now, probably my most favorite part of what I do now is events like these, where I get to meet all of you and see all the amazing talent and fresh new perspectives out there. For anybody thinking, the world is, I don't know. I think there's lots of different times in life we think, things aren't going well or whatever, but all you have to do is come meet all of these young, new people and realize that, we are actually in good hands. You guys are our future.
I would say the coolest thing about my job is that I get to operate a high rail. So this is a car, and there's an SUV that we've added train wheels to. So I drive up to the railroad crossing that you normally just drive across, and I turn the car to line up with the train tracks, and then I drop the train wheels, and then I ride the train tracks in this car. So it's really cool, and I did not expect this out of my job when I signed up to be a civil engineer, that I would get to drive trains.
So favorite part of my job is essentially when my project comes alive. That's my favorite part of my job. Eventually how it started with a small problem, how we built upon it, how we actually as a team we executed on certain things and seeing it succeed. I'll give you an example. Glassdoor recently launched a feature, it's called Know Your Worth, and we launched it in October and we hit the 1 million user mark yesterday. And my favorite part was I was literally watching the dashboard every second. I was refreshing the page just to see the number grow. I'm like, my 8-year-old daughter is telling me, Mom, are you crazy? What are you doing? Why are you just hitting this F5 button again and again? I'm like, oh, because I just need to see that number grow. And it's like my baby. It's like my virtual baby that I want to see it grow. So yes, that's fine.
My favorite part is it's always different, that I'm not stuck in an office all day. I get to go on scene with the investigators and help them collect evidence, or I'm in autopsy, helping the doctor figure out how the person died. Or, another day I'll be here speaking to you amazing women and encouraging you to follow in our footsteps, which I think is amazing. And I love that it's not boring. That's my favorite part, is I always have something to look forward to. There's always something new and exciting to see or do. And I really like that a lot.
Hi, I'm Nancy. So my question was, if you weren't doing your job today, what do you think you would be doing, if you didn't have your job? If you weren't an engineer, a technology engineer, what do you think your other job would be, or your other career or occupation?
That's a really tough question. Really, really tough question. It's hard to imagine what you would have done. I think, actually, there were about 1 million other professions that I wanted to do above civil engineering when I first went to college or that I was interested in, including anthropology, just about anything you can think of other than civil engineering. But yeah, that's a really, really hard one. Maybe an anthropologist, or maybe it would have gone into something else. But I think, ultimately I'm really happy with the choice that I made. I think the thing about engineering for me is I feel like it's such a good starting point to anywhere you want to go. I think if you have a degree in engineering or anything science related, math related, you have a really solid base and a really amazing set of skills that you acquire that you can apply to anything really. So you come into problems knowing that you can solve them. That's really the key, and you could apply that to anything, even home life. Like I have a 3-year-old, and I use my engineering skills every day with him because you're constantly solving problems. How to do it. So yeah, if that answers your question.
So I think it's a good indicator that all of us haven't thought about other things in the sense that we are happy that we're engineers. But I work for public sector, which means I work for the government. So I like that because I feel like I'm doing something good for my community. I can see a positive increase in my area. So I like the idea that my job does give back and does good. And so the reason you choose engineering is because you solve problems. That's what you do day to day. You have issues and you're like, I'm going to figure out how to make this better. So maybe I wouldn't necessarily be an engineer, but I still have that core of I want to make things better. And so I would do something else that has some of those same values.
So if I were not an engineer, that's a very difficult question to answer. Alternate career would be probably just reading books and doing nothing. Because honestly, I never thought that I'll not be an engineer. And I'm not saying that like at middle school I was decided that I'm going to be an engineer. But the minute I decided to be an engineer, I don't think so I had an alternate thought. The minute I decided that I wanted to be a software engineer, I don't think so there has been ever a day where I have not thought that, I don't want to be a software engineer. I think I want to be a software engineer and I'm okay with it. And I love it. So yeah, I know that I'm not answering your question, but I don't know.
It's a really hard one, but I would think I want to go still stay in the same death investigation, just do crime scene investigation, which is different from my job because it's all crimes, not crimes that just involve death. So it would kind of be in the same vector, but it's still helping people and it's still solving crimes. That's it.
I'm Mikaela, I'm in 7th grade. So my question is, what's the biggest regret or mistake that you've made throughout your career? And what's some advice that you could give us keep us from making those mistakes?
We can go to rest.
So I think probably the biggest advice is to just keep going and not give up on whatever it is that you want to do, like to do. And I guess if there was anything that I would say, kind of advice on an approach for that is, try to have a good attitude about whatever it is you're doing. I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned is, whenever I had not a very good attitude about something, that's when it really didn't turn out as well. I really wish I wasn't working on this project. I wanted to be on that project and I'm on this project. Or just whatever it is. I think the most important thing is to, it's your attitude. It's how you approach a situation or approach a problem. Just be happy with wherever you are. It's exactly the right place. That's exactly where you need to be. And something will come out of it.
I am in agreement that I don't think necessarily you should kind of expect to have bumps along the road, and you can't expect everything to be easy. At some point you will fail. I'm sure everyone's done poorly on a math test or some spelling test or some type of exam before, and you learn things from it. So you have to have those hurdles, you have to have that adversary to overcome it and to have the resilience to keep moving forward. I will say something that I've noticed though, within the maybe you have 4 out of 5, don't hesitate to go after the project, even if you don't meet all the qualifications, because if you make 4 out of 5, you probably will figure out the midway. So even if you don't think you're ready, you probably are. You have the willpower, and you should keep striving and try, and don't worry about failing, because everybody does it, and you'll learn something from it, and you'll learn something from it. The easiest way to learn is to sometimes fail.
So my biggest regret was when I was a girl like you in middle school. My dad used to, he's an early riser, and he would wake me up at 4. And yeah, like for whatever, like, so I had an elocution, I'm just giving it this like story, just to tell the story before I say what my biggest regret. He used to get wake me up, and I did not like a single bit. Like, why? Why do I need to get up at 4 to practice something? Like, it's a stupid elocution in school. Like, what do I care? And I think my biggest regret till this date is like when he was doing it, I was doing it figuratively. Like, I was not very happy about it. Had I been happy about it, I would have learned a little bit. And elocution is not a big deal. Like, nothing, no exam, nothing, no test is a big deal. But it was my attitude, like just to add to like what Catherine and Alyssa here had to say, that it was my attitude towards like my dad, that was the big deal. And I think that was my biggest regret. That, like at that point I did not realize. Now when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that? Like he was just trying to teach me an important lesson, and I was not ready to learn that lesson. And I think that was my regret. That had someone given me a vision that, oh, you know what, this is actually going to help you in your life later, I would have not done that. But now, when I look back at it, I'm like, I'm so thankful to him. And because of it, I'm an early riser, and I'm like, I can get a lot accomplished, I have a better day. But at that point, it was not. So when I was a girl like you, I was like, what? I was like, why do you want me to just like get up at 4 and like practice this elocution or practice for this math test or whatever? So I think that is my biggest regret. I think I wasted some time because of that. So yeah, that's my piece of advice, that when someone is trying to tell you something, sometimes we need to have an open mind about it. It's not always, they're not trying to be just a grown-up. Sometimes they mean well. So yeah, listen to them.
My biggest regret was not asking for help when I needed it. In college, I was really afraid in the first 2 years to go to my professor and ask for help. And even in high school, too, to stay after and ask for help. And I would struggle on my own, and I found by letting go of that fear and going in and asking for help, I did so much better in all of my classes. And I felt better about myself, more confidence in myself by asking for help. So that's my big advice to you, is don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask for help, because that's how you learn. And you can sometimes learn how to do things better that way. Even if you think you know, ask for help. Don't sit there and struggle, because it's so much easier just to ask and to learn than to do it wrong or to think that you're not doing it well enough. So don't be afraid to ask.
Thank you. We have 3 more girls who are going to ask questions, and I'd ask for only 2 of you to answer for each one.
My name is Jason. I'm in 8th grade, and my question is, how long do you, how many years of school did you have to take? And did you ever want to like stop at any point?
The standard for engineering is 4 or 5 years. I definitely was in the 5-year range. And yes, I stopped several times. I remember distinctly in like my 3rd year deciding to stop engineering. And I went on a trip abroad, and I came back just completely determined to not finish with my engineering, to switch my major. And basically my brother talked me out of it. And I think to this day, I'm really well. But yeah, many times I wanted to stop. I'm so glad that I did this thing.
So India has a different system. I see that 4 years of engineering, and no, I didn't want to quit at any point. Like, in fact, I took additional classes. So, it was boring, very boring. But I think part of it was because I really wanted to learn, and that was it. Essentially, if I had not wanted to learn, I'm pretty sure I would have probably dropped out, like, not done so well in my school. So I think that was one.
My name is Charlie, I'm in 5th grade, and my question is, if there was anything you could change about your job, what would it be?
So in my job, I deal with a lot of stinky, gross stuff. So if it could smell better, that would be nice. But other than that, there's not much I would change. Just, the smell and the bugs too. So little things like that, but it's part of the job. You learn to deal with it.
I don't think I'd necessarily change much about my job. I really like that I have a balance of office and outside work. I get to go see the things that we've designed be built. That's very satisfying.
Hello, my name is Malaya, and I'm a sophomore in San High. And my question is, what is the most challenging part of this job?
So I think the most challenging part of my job is essentially dealing with people. Software is easy. Like, they don't talk back to you. But people are different. And that you will always find. They'll always be difficult. And I guess, as I said earlier, that it's your perspective that matters. And over the years, I've learned that how not to let that get to me. So if I can change anything, I'll not sit in a basically isolated cube. But I would like people only talk to me when they really need to talk to me about work. Please don't discuss anything else. Don't judge me the way I look. Don't judge me the way I'm sitting. Don't judge me by what I'm eating. Only focus on what I'm doing. I'm here to do work. Just only focus on that. I get that's the only thing that I want to change.
I have kind of the same answer in a slightly different way. People think, and this is a great question because I think it gives an opportunity to talk about how, all these degree fields of math, science, engineering, technology, you sit behind your computer and you're doing problem solving and all the things you think of people doing in those degrees, probably 10% of the time, and the other 90% is working with people, writing emails, talking with the public, talking with the various stakeholders of your project, getting everybody on the same page. Getting everybody on the same page is a big one. I mean, that's most of the work that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, is making sure that you're all on the same page, especially when you get into the project management level and that sort of thing. It's almost 100% of my time as a project manager was spent just talking to people and making sure that everybody understood what we're all doing. Engineers, I can speak for engineers, we don't work in a vacuum, and at the end of the day, whatever you're doing has a real result that impacts people. So you have to get it right, and you have to make sure that where your design ends, the other person's design, matches that. So people is a huge part of the job, and that's probably the most challenging. But for someone that likes people, I enjoyed that part of it. And I think there's different pathways in engineering. You can be more in the people side of things, or you can be more in the technical side of things. You can do different things, but at the end of the day, you're always working with other people, and that's the challenge.
So I've received quite a bit of inspiration from their words. One is everything is an opportunity. Even if you think you're failing, it's still an opportunity to learn. Work with others, have self-confidence. Do not take what others may try to make you think about yourself or feel about yourself, or even if they don't believe in you. That's about them. It's not about you. Always do your best. Work hard. And if your parent or loved one asks you to get up at 4 in the morning to study, do it. So I want to thank Alexandra, Divya, Catherine, and Elisa. Thank you all.
Wow, that was fantastic. Deborah, thank you so much. We have some other acknowledgments that we would like to tell you about right now. Nancy Nam is an 8th grader at Bayside Martin Luther King School in Marin City. She has been, is Nancy here today? Right here. Yay, Nancy, congratulations. She's been in, Natalie Nam. Did I get that? Where's, is Natalie? Natalie, I'm sorry about that. Sorry, a little typo here, my apologies. So Natalie, 8th grader, did I get it right? Come on up here. Let us see you. I have to brag about her. She's been accepted to a science tech summer camp at Stanford University. Probably one of these years she'll come up and be a panelist, but congratulations. Thank you. All right. Nancy, nice to have you here. All right. Also, we want to let you know that there was a great summer tour, an academic cultural tour during spring break to New York. And it was sponsored by a nonprofit group, Growth Circle, so thank you for that. And the kids went to visit historic sites, the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building, Juilliard School of Music, and the New York Stock Exchange. And that was an amazing trip, so thank you to everybody who participated in that and who helped sponsor that. Okay, where are those girls who went on that trip? Let's see it. Let us see it, don't be shy. It's important to get knowledge. All right, congratulations. Also, we'd like to thank Jan McDougall, Julius Dupree, and Ann Sapp, Morgan Stanley, Performing Stars alumni, and also Tasha Green and Janaea Usilie. They are talented artists who recently released a gospel CD. Janaea is also a visual artist and designed the CD cover. Mariah Ashby is studying nursing. And are all of you here? Because if you are, please stand up and let us see you. I just saw you in the back a little while ago. If you see, she's with Eloquently Done Affair. Every time you see the gorgeous decorations at a Performing Stars event, it is because of Lena. So thank you. All right now we're going to continue with our program. This is another major supporter of Performing Stars of Marin. Karen Jenkins Johnson with the Jenkins Johnson Art Gallery has been so supportive of Performing Stars. She's been with Felicia and this group all the way and has done so much. We'd like to acknowledge her efforts and also please give her a warm round of applause for the next part of the program.
Thank you, Felicia, for organizing such a tremendous event, bringing together important members of our community. I want to hold up this torch. This torch is a symbol of achievement and lights the path for all who follow. The colors in the flame represent the following characteristic traits. Red means passionate and strong. Blue, dignified and secure. Yellow, optimistic and powerful. Orange, energetic and attentive. It is my pleasure introduce this year's nominees. The three women we have here today, that we're recognizing today, demonstrate all of the characteristics in the colored flames in the torch. The first award, the honoree, is Malachi Yvonne Hoover. Malachi grew up in Marin City and attended elementary school at Marin Country Day and Women Helping All People Scholastic Academy, and then went to MLK Academy for junior high. And after graduating from Tamalpais High School, received her Bachelor of Science in Cell and Molecular Biology from Cal State Northridge, and is currently pursuing a master's degree. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be recognized by my community. I would just like to say that I'm just like every young girl here today. I grew up in Marin City, born and raised, and I mean, today I stand here as a scientist. And as a little girl, I knew that I loved learning. I attended elementary, I attended a private school, Marin Country Day School. And I was the only African-American person in my entire grade. And sometimes I felt like I wasn't as equal as my classmates that came from wealthy communities, and I felt sometimes that I wasn't at that status as everyone else. So in order to feel equal, I knew that education was my ticket. Education, knowledge is my way to be just as equal as anyone else. I'm proud to be African American, a scientist pursuing a degree, higher education. I knew that I liked science as a young age. In high school, I thought I wanted to do chemistry. It didn't come easy. I remember being frustrated because it was senior year of high school and I couldn't figure out the interaction between atoms, how positive and negative charge neutralize. And I was so frustrated because I was like, why can't I understand this concept of chemistry? But that pushed me to want to learn more, to overcome this challenge and figure out the answers. So I went to Cal State University Northridge and initially pursued a degree in chemistry, but then that changed. I found out that my passion was biology. Biology is the study of life, of organisms, how the human body works. And I began working in a laboratory. So for the last 5 years, I've been conducting cancer research and also stem cell research. It's a very hard degree. It takes hard work. You have to study long hours, but the mission is the long-term goal that I'm reaching to achieve. So last year, I applied to different schools for PhD programs. I've been at Cal State University Northridge, and I got my undergrad, and I recently just got my master's in biology. And emphasize that you're going to be faced with challenges. I was applying for PhD schools a year ago, and I only got one interview to a PhD program. And I ended up being on the waiting list at Cornell University, the Ivy League school. But I didn't get in. And I thought to myself, well, am I meant to do this career? Am I truly a scientist? I've had it in my mind all my life, this is what I want to be, but do other people recognize me as that? And so instead of giving up, I decided to do another year in the master's program, and I reapplied. I was able to get my first author publication as a scientist. I did better, I worked on my personal statement, and I got accepted this current cycle into 10 top universities. defeat you. You defeat the challenges. You defeat the odds. So I am proud to say that in the fall, I will be starting at Stanford University's program. PhD program in stem cell biology. A very competitive program, but with hard work, dedication, and passion for what you do, there's nothing you can't achieve. And for the young women, the young girls out here, don't be challenged. Yes, science is hard, but life is hard. I mean, anything that is worth value, it's not going to be given to you. You have to put in hard work. So I'm just honored, blessed, and I want to thank my family, my grandmother, my brother, Miss Felicia. Performing Stars. I'm just glad to be here today and just share my story, and I hope to inspire you young women that anything is possible. Thank you.
Work hard and believe in yourself. The next honoree is Natasha Griffin Candy. She's Marin City's own. Graduated from Tuskegee University in 1999 and attended Bayside Elementary here in Marin County, Virginia, and Tamalpais High School. Congratulations.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. This is an honor to receive this. I did write a little something for you young ladies. So the first thing is 17 years, 6,205 days. How many of you have waited for something, anything? Something to happen, to get something, to go somewhere? How about waiting to leave something? So I waited 6,205 days to leave here, to leave Marin City, to leave home. That's almost 17 years. How many of you are 17? Or nearly 17? Okay. So I waited 17 years in order to follow my dream. So during those 17 years of waiting, I graduated college from Tuskegee University with my degree in animal and poultry sciences. And then I pursued my teaching credential. I got good at what I did, teaching science, biology, chemistry, physics, and earth science to middle school students. And some of my students are here right now. So teaching science was easy for me. I enjoyed it. I liked science and math. It wasn't a problem. My grandmother, Octavia, my Aunt Terry, who is here, and my mother, Faye, all had a great impact and continue to have a great impact in my life. I know hard work and perseverance are embedded in their spirits. Those two things were key to me waiting all of those 17 years. Don't listen to people who say no, or whatever the thing is that you want to do. I heard people say, black people don't do that. Black people don't go there. They don't do those things. Or even why. Don't listen to them. So I spoke out loud of joining the Peace Corps in the fall of 1996, my sophomore year of college. And I didn't get on a plane to Africa until summer of 2012. 6,205 days. I waited to go to Africa, but I didn't know I was going to Africa, but I waited to go to join the Peace Corps. So all my years of science teaching experience set me apart from my peers while I was there. I went to West Africa with a specific skill set in science education. and I love sharing my expertise with my counterparts. In physics and in algebra is where I shine in Africa. They needed a specific skill, and I had it. I was able to work with 24 male teachers in a predominantly Muslim country, teaching them how to teach physics and algebra. It was challenging. So me being the expert and a woman, I was able to show them how to make teaching fun and engaging and relevant for their students, their middle school and high school students. It was the best experience of my life. It made all the more meaningful because I waited. I gained skills along the way. So let me end with this. Set a goal, big or small. Don't lose sight of it. Set smaller goals along the way so that you can achieve those and have some skills in your back pocket for when your big goal comes along. And lastly, wait. However long it takes, nothing happens overnight. Nothing happens overnight. So be patient and persevere. Your time will come, and when it does, be ready to shine. Thank you.
We as women have is patience. Thank you for reminding us. The next person is Dr. Elizabeth Patton. At Stanford University, she's raised here in Marin City and attended local schools in Sausalito, Bayside, and MLK. She's a graduate of Town Pius High School within the University of California, Los Angeles, where she received a bachelor's degree. She received a doctorate degree in medicine from the University of Kansas. She then completed her general practice pediatric residency at the Children's Hospital and Research Center in Oakland, and her fellowship at Stanford University. And you can say what you received a fellowship in. Congratulations. Thank you.
First, I just want to say thank you to the EnLIGHTen committee for everybody who planned, especially the Felicia. To receive an award is always a great thing, but when you receive an award from home, it's that much more special that you're able to do and yes, I went to all the local schools here, like many of you are attending now. Bayside, MLK, Mrs. Edwards was my kindergarten teacher. And I graduated from TAM, and then went on to UCLA for my bachelor's degree in kinesiology. And then it took some time for me to get into medical school. But when I did, I went to the University of Kansas and graduated from there. And since then, I've been in training. I guess training took 6 years total. Pediatric residency at Children's Hospital in Oakland, and then pediatric nephrology fellowship at Stanford. And that's what I do now. So I'm a pediatrician that takes care of, so I take care of kids with kidney diseases. And I've been doing that for 8 years. It's kind of hard to follow what Malachi and Natasha have already said because we've all had the same experiences. There are going to be people who will tell you no. And so my response is like, okay, I'm still going to do it anyway. There are people who will tell you that takes too long, and now that I've gotten older, my response is, so what? If it's what you want to do, that's what you pursue and do. My 3rd grade teacher, Mr. Kincaid, was the one that put the idea in my head about being a physician, and well, because he was afraid that I was going to be a stewardess, which is why I wanted to be an aide. So, but I read about it, and it was interesting to me, so I pursued it. Were there many people who told me along the way that I couldn't do it? Absolutely. Were there times I told myself I couldn't do it? Absolutely. But the thing about it is that when you know it's something for you to do, this is a calling. So this did not choose me. I realized that in medical school, no one does this by choice. It is something that you are called to do. And when it is your calling, your gift that God gives to you, there's no way that you want to compromise it. And I think that's what we all need to remember, especially when we tell you we need to speak life into you and to speak these goals into you and to let you know that you can do whatever you put in the chart in front of you to do. And we will support you 100%. So with that, I just want to say thank you again, and that we are all here for you. People, one more thing too, people actually watch you more than what you realize. So in pediatric nephrology, there's not many African American women who do this. The field is quite small, it's probably about 700 in the country. And unless I'm mistaken that there's somebody hiding in Southern California, I'm the only one on the West Coast. So it's a very small field. But yet people are still watching you. I recently learned that I was named one of the top doctors in the Bay Area by San Francisco Magazine. I didn't know that. And when you're just working and doing what you're supposed to do, you don't realize that people are watching you. So we're watching you too. And we're here to help you get to where you want to go and support you all the way. So with that, thank you.
Hi, my name is Carol Mills, and I'm here representing State Senator Mike McGuire. And I want to thank you all for inviting me. This is not my first year here, but it's an event that I really enjoy. I think you could tell from the panel that was up here and from these three remarkable women that they all share a couple of qualities. The first is they all listen to their heart. It doesn't matter what your friends think, what your teachers tell you can or can't do, or even what your family thinks. It's what you feel in your heart, and you just don't listen to anybody else but that. And once you listen to your heart, you act on it. And you look all around for people to help you, because we are all out here and we're all dying to help somebody. That's what we all want to do. And then when you advance, you turn around and you help somebody else. And that's how, particularly as women, we pass on from one to another. It's really important that we lift a hand out to people to help them up, and we take a hand when it's lifted down to us. It is my privilege to present certificates of recognition from both the state legislature, from Senator McGuire, and from our Congressman Jared Huffman. So to these remarkable women, and I'm very, very proud to be able to do so. The first award is to Natasha Griffin. Tammy, I believe they all say the same thing, so I'll just read this one. It says, congratulations on receiving the EnLIGHTen flame in recognition of all you have accomplished and all you have contributed to the world around you. You have built on your solid belief to create a light and force in your life and the lives of others. We are enormously proud of you and everything you do. Senator Mike. Presented to honor your enduring leadership in science, technology, engineering, and math field. Your efforts to create and utilize innovative teaching techniques while supporting the needs educators across the globe are helping to make the STEM fields more accessible to generations of women and minorities in Marin and beyond. Congratulations on your many achievements, Congressman Jared Huffman.
Okay, so that concludes our program. And I think this is just one of the best events again, but more especially because we are honoring our women here from Marin City, and especially our young women who live in Marin City and throughout the county, that you have something to be proud of. And it's real clear. They say, I graduated, I went to Bayside MLK, I went to Tam High School. They moved on. And look, you all can do the same thing, whatever your career choices are. Please feel free to stay in contact with us so we can just keep supporting you. And I also like to acknowledge Allie and I don't pronounce her, you can come up. She came all the way from Mountain View. She bought some items from NASA. So, we're getting ready for lunch.
Okay. Well, I actually came a little bit farther than that, and it was kind of difficult to get here, but I'm really happy to be here, and I'm so sorry I was kind of late and I feel underdressed. But I was assuming it was like something that I will talk about, my experience in NASA, more casual, and forgive me. But I want to really listen to these young women over here. It's inspiring, everything they're doing, and they're really amazing. They really, inspire me to even continue to do the same thing I do. I also come from a really humble beginnings. I'm actually came from Mexico, and I was raised in Mexico, and I immigrated to San Jose, and I pursued my career as an aerospace engineering. I graduated from San Jose State, and then now I have a work at NASA Ames, and I constantly go and do outreach and talk about girls and tell them that they can do it, because if I can do it, they can do it. Just to give you a little bit of my background, I am a single mother with 4 children, and I started going to school after my youngest one was in pre-K, and pursue my engineering degree. And it was hard, it was really tough, but these young women say, you have to be persistent. When somebody comes around, you cannot do it, you need to go talk to yourself and say, yes, I can do it if I plan it, if I be persistent and don't give up. Things happen in life that you really will not anticipate. You're not going to plan for it. But, if you try to prepare yourself for the things that are coming that you might not know, and have not just one plan, but 3 plans to execute. And be persistent. And I'm really happy to be here, and I would love to talk to some of the young girls, and maybe give you guys some feedback about my career as an aerospace engineer. Thank you.
I think the best thing about Performing Stars of Marin is that they do a lot of activities.
I like Performing Stars Marin because you get to learn new things, go on trips and field trips, and discover new people and what they're like.
What I like about Performing Stars of Marin is that it helps people. They have a group that boys read, and they have a dancing group. Sometimes you can't do these activities in life, and it's just lucky because some kids can't do it.
I like this, the women's stuff.
My favorite fictional character would be Hermione Granger from Harry Potter, because she's independent and very bright and smart.
I like Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob because she's very smart, and she is really good with science and stuff, and SpongeBob is my favorite episode, TV thing, so yeah.
Casey from Casey on the Cover. Why? Because she's confident of herself and she's really brave.
I just like Batgirl because I think she could fly, and that she has a nice outfit and stuff.
Wonder Woman, because when I was young, I used to love superheroes. And Wonder Woman was an inspiration because she was the first superhero that I heard of. And so I really liked her.
Wonder Woman, because she can do a lot of things and she's strong.
Wonder Woman, because she's one of the well-known women superheroes.
Wonder Woman, because she's like a woman, and she don't have superpowers, but she still does awesome stuff with her rope. And yeah, she's my favorite superhero.
When I grow up, I really want to be a singer, and I really want to go to Juilliard or Stanford. Or if I don't get into that, I really want to be a teacher, because I feel like I have really nice teaching skills and I'm really good with kids. So yeah.
When I grow up, I want to be either a doctor or a basketball player.
I want to be a lawyer when I grow up because I like to talk a lot. I like to argue with people, and I like to most of the time I like to win it because I like to make a point about my decision.
When I grow up, I want to be either a doctor or a basketball player. A pediatrician.
I would want to be a travel journalist because I would be able to go around the world and learn and discover new countries.
I want to be a baker. Yeah, and open up my own bakery. I want to be a professional ballet dancer because I've been dancing since I was little and I really like to dance. A gymnast because I like doing gymnastics and it's fun. I want to be a doctor because I can help people when they're sick, even my parents and my baby sister.
I have amazing teachers at my school and they've really inspired me to follow my passions and to teach others and to be there for others, and I'm going to follow my career of being a teacher.
I want to be a nurse when I grow up. I just like helping people, especially sick people.
I'd like to be a teacher of an Ivy League college.
I've always wanted to become a pilot since I was little, but recently I've done many volunteering opportunities and I want my lifelong career to be something that has to do with helping my community, specifically Marin, and helping others out. So since volunteering, I've done a lot of volunteering. I loved helping out others. So maybe a profession in helping out the community as a whole.
I would like to be an obstetrician because I love babies a lot.
I might want to be a singer, but after that, I would want to become the president. If I could change one thing about this world, it would be to not be any diseases.
One thing I would change about the world is probably everything, because this society has been changing a lot of people and a lot of kids, they're just growing up too fast, and I just feel like they should just kind of just stay calm, because you only live once, and yeah.
That kids would have more fun and learn a little bit more than we do right now.
I would change schools to make them better.
It would probably be just the way society is towards everyone, because I feel like a lot of people are very judgmental towards how you are, your background, your ethnicity, just things about you. People always just have to bring you down, which kind of gives me motivation to prove them wrong. But I feel like if everyone were just kind towards everyone else, life would be just a whole lot easier.
To stop bullying, because some people commit suicide because people bully them, and people and gun violence, because a lot of people die because people shoot them.
I would change so it wouldn't be bullies in the world, and no one would get bullied or something.
That they wouldn't, people wouldn't be racist or anything, and because if that wouldn't happen, I think that there wouldn't be a lot of wars, and that the world could be a better place.
How some homeless people would not have houses, but I would change that so they would have houses, and enough money to care for their families. And I would change bad people to good people, because good people are very helpful.
I would put all the kids, poor kids, into houses and make them healthy. Yeah.
I want the world to not have poverty. That's kind of my main thing. Like, it's really sad to see like people in front of your eyes and like you can't really do anything and you really want to, but like I wish one day like everyone in this world is just like out of poverty, because that's just the worst feeling anyone could probably imagine.
If I could change one thing about the world, I would want to just increase the love in the world, and no matter who you are, where you come from, what your background is, just to feel accepted and to feel like you belong, and that that everyone is equal, everyone has the same chance to do what they want to do in life, to follow their dreams, and that there would just be more love and acceptance.
My favorite real-life female is Serena Williams, also because she's brave and confident of herself.
My favorite female is Rosa Parks because she stood up for herself.
My favorite real-life female person is Bessie Coleman. She was the first African-American woman to fly an airplane.
I would say my favorite real-life female is May Carol Jamison, because in science class we did this project on we could pick anything, and I choose to pick an astronaut, the first African-American woman astronaut, and I looked up it and I found her, and she was very inspiring because she never gave up on her dream.
It would be my sister, because she graduated college and now she's a chef, and I think that's strong.
Gabby Douglas, because she inspires me to do gymnastics.
My favorite person is my mom because she really inspires me to do anything.
Have to be my mom, because like I want to grow up and be like her, so yeah.
My mom, because she's generous with me and she's loving to me.
My favorite real-life female is my mom because she brought me into this world, and I appreciate her greatly for raising me and doing everything on her own.
My mother, because she kind of taught me a lot of things I didn't know, and yeah, and also Kim Kardashian, because she first, and Beyonce, to be honest, because Beyonce, she's like a queen and she's very powerful. She's been in a lot of movements. She has like a lot of she's like an entrepreneur. And Kim Kardashian, she's like very like famous, and she knows how to work with like products. She has a lot of products like fashion lines and stuff. And I kind of really want to be like her. And yeah.
My mom, obviously, it's really nice to see like I have someone to look upon, because she works so hard at school. She like got herself here, and like especially like through it all, like she completed college and all that. So it's really like inspiring to see my mom like finish all of that. Like she's really been she's like inspired me my whole life basically. And then my cousin, who actually has the same name as me, I always go help like volunteer with her, and like she does a lot of things for our like local mosque, and it's just like fun like helping out. Like I never really knew I would like helping out like a lot, but like it turns out she's helped out like in this community, like in Marin City too. Like she's helped out a lot, and it's like really nice. Like I don't know, I feel like I got inspired to do it by her because she does it so much.
Ariana Grande, because she writes nice songs and does duets and stuff.
My big sister from a program called Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Her name is Aviva Baedeker, and she's just a great role model for me. And I respect her so much, and I've learned a lot from her, so she's one of my like biggest role models.
I think one thing that I would change about myself if I could is remove the fear that I have, and to have more courage to do the things that I want to do, and to live the dreams that I want to live, and to follow the passion that I have. I think that so much of the time we let fear block what we truly want to do in life, and I think that would be the one thing that I would change about myself.
If I could change one thing about myself, I would probably want to change my attitude. My attitude, because I have my anger, and it's kind of like a struggle that I'm really working on, and also how I want to work with people, and also have more self-confidence in myself.
I am human, so I do judge pretty quickly. I don't know, I'm a pretty judgy person, to be honest, but I wish I didn't judge someone. Just I know I want people to stop doing that, and I know myself that I need to stop. I'll automatically just think, look how she's dressing, she must be whatever. I want myself to stop doing that because I know it's wrong and it's disrespectful, and I would like other people to just stop doing that too.
My attitude, because I'm kinda I'm mean but I'm nice, but I'm most likely to be nice instead of mean, because if you be mean, you don't get that much stuff in life.
Just beauty, I don't know, everyone's insecure about that, but that's one of my big insecurities, just not being pretty enough, I guess.
To not bite on my nails, because I really want long nails, so I keep biting to have it.
If I could change one thing about myself, it would be that I have smaller feet, because I have really big feet.
I think the meaning of life is to listen to your heart.
Follow your dreams.
I think the meaning of life is to respect everything that you have and be grateful, because you won't always have it, and to be strong and be respectful, and yeah.
The meaning of life, I think, is that you could just be what you want to be, but be kind and respectful, and there might be rough times, but you still have to get through them without having to complain, and because you shouldn't complain about things, because you should be grateful for what you have, because some people don't have it. And yeah, that's what the meaning of life is.
I think the most important thing in life is to just live it, because I think you only live once, so just make it worth it. Yeah, just make it last.
She's just a girl and she's on fire.